I was in freshman year, I was sitting in math class, third to last period of the day. Double R or DT or some easy class to finish a nice warm March day. About 15 minutes into class, bang, we were jolted out of our math-induced commas by this sound. The classroom was situated at the top of this old staircase, which amplified the sound, which also happened to have emanated from just off the bottom of the staircase in an adjacent hallway. The teachers told us to stay in our seats and walk to the next class to find out what the crake was with affirmation bang. It was then announced over the intercom that all students were to remain in their class for the rest of the day, about another 90 or so minutes. We spent the rest of the day doing our homework and speculating what the crap that sound had been. When the end of the day came, we were escorted to the buses. Usually we could walk down unattended on a long detour around the school, but today, normally, we made the journey 30 seconds, but this took 2 minutes. First sign of trouble was seeing 3 marked police cars at the front of the school. Second sign was seeing 2 officers with MP5 submachine guns standing by one of the main student entrances. The third and final and most dang scary sign of trouble was the fact that the 4 large plain glass windows to some of the front-facing classes, 2 had been shattered completely. On the bus home, further speculation suggested it had been a bomb. Others said it was a massive firework of some kind. Some of my friends had been closer to the source of the explosion, and some of them said the teachers had a breakdown later on. The next day, the window had been repaired, but an area of the school was still damaged. There had been lockers beside a small set of stairs and double doors in front of the steps. The doors were splintered and the lockers no longer there. It eventually emerged that the source of the explosion had been quite a large firework, which the school seniors had fashioned a time-delayed fuse somehow using cigarettes or something that allowed them to detonate it when there would be one in the vicinity. I had actually forgotten about this incident until I saw the title of this thread, and all the memories flooded back there now. It was a firework. Stuff got serious for a while. No one was expelled, surprisingly. A few years back, I went to a fairly small school in the Midwest/Great Lakes area. I started my day pretty much like usual. I went to the cafeteria and got a muffin, unknowingly walking right by the table of the shooting. I was running a bit late, so the bell had rung a while before I even left the cafeteria. I made it about halfway to my class when I hear a couple loud pops and some screams and stuff. I headed back towards the cafeteria, thinking someone had set off a firecracker. I made it pretty close before I noticed that people were still running and screaming. I was in a hallway that formed a T intersection with the hallway that led to the cafeteria. I was maybe 20 feet away when I saw a kid I knew going running past the end of the hall, chased by the gunman. He got shot, got up, and kept running. The gunman shot again a couple times, but by then I was sprinting back to my AP history class. The kid I saw survived, but he'll never walk again, and it's been years. 3 other kids were severely injured. I made it back to my classroom just as the PA system announced the lockdown. I told my teacher what happened. He was an ex-Marine, non-combat, but he was still a solid 6'8" dude. He stood up, went into a wall locker, and pulled out a baseball bat, told us to get in the corner, and stood by the door. The teachers were honestly amazing that day. In addition to my story, one of the other teachers likely saved the running kid's life. We'll call him W from now on. W had kept running all the way until he got outside the teacher's room. We'll call the teacher S. Mrs. S had done about the same thing my teacher had done, except that he also had a bulletproof vest handy in his wall locker. Again, small white suburban school, no idea why he felt it was necessary. Very smart man and in no way nutty, just careful, I guess. He put it on, unlocked his now locked door, and pulled W into his room. He locked the door behind him. Another teacher, we'll call him H, then chased him from the building. H happened to be rather large football coach. He was the study hall monitor and initially chased the shooter out of the cafeteria as well. He stopped to check in the boys' bathroom, and when he realized that the shooter was still pursuing someone, left and started chasing him down. I knew he was shot at least once because my friend said he was jumped behind a vending machine to avoid it. Next time we were in school, no more vending machine. I guess the shooter was out of bullets by the time he chased him out of the building. He then went back and sat with the boys until the paramedics arrived. I'll never be able to express my gratitude for what he did for my friends that day, even though they were probably already gone. Just the fact that he was there is nice to know. It was so just surreal. One minute it was all screaming, the next I was just sitting there normally, sat at 8:15 or so. I threw up a couple hours later when the adrenaline wore off and I got home. Since then I had problems with both opiates and sleep aids, though I managed to keep both of those habits before college. I still have flashbacks from the time and some nightmares, but at least I can sleep. It only gets bad around the anniversary, and sometimes when I see other shooters on the news. Sandy Hook was a rough time for a lot of my former classmates. I still never sit with my back to the door unless I absolutely have to. I still jump at gunshots and car backfires every once in a while. I'm relatively lucky. I was really only close with one of the guys, though I liked and talked to the other two. It's absolutely destroyed some people I know. Heroin and pills have already killed one kid, and I see it slowly destroying another one every time. I check my Twitter feed. Other friends still have trouble sleeping, and I still get semi-regular calls just to talk about it. PTSD is terrible. I still hate being home from college. I don't think I really got out of my funk until I got out of town. The worst was probably the fact that we were officially back in school by Friday. Shooting was Monday, just being back in that building was poison. We didn't get crap done for a month anyway, even though the kids who weren't directly affected, I don't know who was responsible for that decision, but I would punch them in the face if I had the chance. In high school, we all had computer logins and our individualized passwords we made up. It was well known there were a few accounts registered to no one and they all had the same password. Student A was logged into one of the anonymous accounts and sent a message to all the teachers that a bomb was going to go off at a certain time. Student B was sitting next to him and saw what Student A did. Student A offered the student B $100 to keep his mouth shut. The school went into lockdown and eventually we were all moved to the elementary a few blocks away. Nothing blew up, but we stayed where we were for the rest of the day. A few weeks had gone by and no one had gotten into trouble for the bomb threat. The police had put a reward out for $1,000 for any information. Student B went out and told the cops. Student B made $1,100 out of the whole thing and didn't get in trouble for taking any money from Student A in the first place. Student A got a few weeks suspension. This happened in 2005.